been waiting on this day to tell you how much I hate this fucking house. The waters, all the shit that you order, all of it. I hate it. I hate this house. I hate that you ordered. You are the fucking laziest fucking house in this whole goddamn neighborhood.
This home video surveillance footage of an Amazon delivery driver freaking out in front of what appears to be a large house has gone viral on social media. And I know many of you have already seen this probably a week ago, but I thought it was important for me to add my commentary to this because there's a lot of people who are saying that this is very indicative of the plight of the working class. If you don't understand this woman's struggle, you just don't get the working class. And in reality, we cannot hold this woman to any sort of standards of behavior or conduct because she's working class. And in my humblest of opinions, I find that to be one of the most ridiculous positions that you could possibly hold, and I'm going to explain that to you in great detail throughout the course of this video. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
You're inconsiderate. You're full of shit. I fucking hate everything about y'all. I hate it. All you have to do is order the store from Walmart pickup or Central pickup or whatever and go put the shit in your own truck and go do it your fucking self.
So let me just say something right off the top. This woman right here is acting ridiculously on this video, and I'm sorry if you find some kind of backwards justification for it, but the fact is, she is a delivery driver and she is complaining about the downsides of her job as a delivery driver. And I'm not saying that you are incapable of complaining about the downsides of your particular job, but the idea that this is emblematic of the working class struggles, therefore we should give her some kind of additional sympathy, is ridiculous and absurd. Again, if you don't like being a delivery driver, you could try not being a delivery driver. If you have problems with the fact that you are incapable of carrying certain things to this particular property, it's not necessarily on the homeowner, maybe it's on the company that you're working for, which requires you to carry more than you're capable of lifting. There's a lot of people who will bring up in the comments of this Amazon's poor record with staff, how people are overworked, peeing in bottles, all the different various things that we've heard related to that company, but none of that is on the homeowner. None of that is on the person who is receiving these goods or services. That is on the company and how they treat their particular workers. In addition to that, I will also point out that some people are saying or making the case that the person in this particular home could be disabled or could be incapable of going to the store and picking up their stuff. To me, that is completely irrelevant. It is not related to this particular story because the fact is, whatever reason you want to have deliveries, that is the reason this person has a job, and you can choose to take another job.
You are the laziest sons of ever.
I'm not sorry to say this, but on no planet is this acceptable behavior. In no way, shape, or form should we be excusing this. And the idea that this person holds a working class position, therefore we have no standards of their behavior, is ridiculous from top to bottom, and again, would be inexcusable in other contexts. And the crazy thing is that there are a lot of people who have professions that do get disrespected time and time again. Truck drivers are one of them, and they're oftentimes asked to do crazy things like drive insane hours that obviously they would not be able to sleep through in order to make deadlines, and their complaints don't get taken nearly as seriously as this woman who, of course, is dropping off Amazon packages and doing a bad job of it as well. It would be one thing if she, just left the packages there and then issued her complaints, but we see in video after video, she's throwing stuff because she believes that the people in this household are, of course, lazy. Now, again, to be clear, I am not saying that the job of a delivery driver is not difficult. I'm not saying that it's not strenuous. I'm not saying that it's not stressful, and I'm not saying that certain houses can't order an inordinate amount of large stuff that could be very annoying for said delivery driver and thus make them angry. But this is not the proper response to this, and this, again, is part of the job that she signed up for. If all of these people just went back to the stores and they decided to shop there, guess what? There would be less delivery drivers, and probably one of the first people I would cut if I were a delivery driver company would be this woman right here who's throwing the stuff, making an embarrassment of herself and the company. And again, anybody who claims this is justified is just pandering to the quote-unquote working class. And that's what you see online a lot. A lot of lefties are excusing this kind of behavior when you know for a fact these are the first people to order everything from Amazon. And if you get one complaint or one thing go wrong, it's usually from the very seeing people who are virtue signaling online about how hard they care about the working class because they've never had to do one of these crap jobs any day in their life. Now look, I want to be clear, I'm working from home, I'm making videos on the internet.com, I shoot these videos and then I move over to my computer over there, edit the videos, upload them, and then money appears in my account every month. I am not pretending that I am struggling or anything of the sort, or this is a particularly physically straining type of job. Make no mistake about it. I've had jobs that have sucked before, but even those jobs were not super strenuous in terms of physical labor. I mean, I used to sell remote control helicopters in a mall, in a kiosk, in a bad neighborhood, and the worst thing that I had to experience, which was multiple different times, were people coming back to the kiosk and trying to threaten my life in order to get refunds, because again, I was just in one of those types of neighborhoods, and the products we were selling at this particular kiosk, they were often prone to breaking because people didn't know how to fly remote control helicopters. But even though I will complain about that, or I would complain about that in private, the idea that I would make this big show of it, trash my work zone, and end up throwing this fit, when again, what I was experiencing was outside the parameters of the job. It was people actually committing crimes by threatening to kill me in order to get themselves a refund on a $25 helicopter. That would still not excuse the behavior of trashing your particular work environment, or again, targeting the customers that have nothing to do with anything.
And then people bring this shit. We break our backs, we break our necks, we break our nails, we break everything to bring you this shit. And you're ungrateful as fuck. I hope you know that.
Now again, you have the list of complaints about the downsides of the job right there. They break our backs, they break our necks, they break our nails, which again, I would rank them in severity of the order, and your nails are probably the least severe. And then she describes these people as ungrateful. Now, I don't know what the reason is for this. I don't know what the rationale is for this. I know that Amazon, through their Alexa, has this new thing where you can actually tip your Amazon drivers, because maybe this is something where she's not getting the adequate tips, or she's just frustrated with the volume of the packages, but it doesn't matter to me. I honestly genuinely don't care, and everybody who's pretending like this is acceptable behavior, like if they engaged with a working class person that acted this way towards them, they would be perfectly fine with that, is pandering. This is clearly and obviously unacceptable behavior. Look, and I hate to be the bad guy, I hate to point this out, but maybe this particular job is not an adequate job for a woman to have. I mean, she is a larger woman, she sounds a little bit older, and her carrying these packages each and every day, even when she has the dolly, probably not the thing that she is best suited for, by the way that she's acting, by the anger that she's showing. Obviously, she doesn't have the emotional discipline right there, and maybe she should look for another line of work, maybe something on more of the customer service side, although I will say, based on this display, I don't really expect this woman to be working behind the counter at a regular customer service area. Maybe at the DMV, maybe at the post office, if we're being perfectly honest. If you go into a modern Department of Motor Vehicles or modern post office, this is the kind of attitude that you will be receiving. But again, if you can't handle the physical nature of your particular job, get a different job. This is not a situation where all of the jobs dried up in her hometown. She has no options at all whatsoever. She took steps in order to make herself qualified for this particular position, and then is angry about the potential downsides of this position, which, by the way, those potential downsides are all related to why she has a job in the first place. If not for people ordering these packages time and time again, there wouldn't be such need, such demand for these delivery drivers. And obviously, if you get yourself a license that makes you capable of driving these particular trucks, which I believe you need a CDL in order to get, which is a whole other process, you can expect that you're going to have to load or unload packages from said trucks. Now again, during the holiday season or high volume times, oftentimes what you see is that UPS will have a driver and a driver helper due to the fact that it is quite strenuous in order to get all the packages to all the people, again, when there's higher volume. And this woman probably needs somebody to assist her. And yeah, you can say something to the company for not providing her the adequate physical support in that regard.
I was just doing how I didn't have to do because I hate this time.
But again, this is just a piss poor performance. This is somebody doing an absolutely terrible job at her job, and it's pathetic in every possible way. And for those of you who are listening via podcast, who may not be seeing the video, she just dumped all the packages from the dolly, just shook them out on purpose, haphazardly, threw another package, and took a photo of it to show that she delivered it, and then just walks away. And this is just not how she would want any of her packages to be treated, and we're supposed to pretend this is acceptable behavior. Again, I will point out that we have seen viral videos of FedEx drivers and UPS drivers that are men, that are males, chuck over the fence a flat screen TV or something of the sort, and those people got fired immediately. Almost nobody was on their side, and typically those videos were of long walks to the front of the porch. They were also typically filmed during the Christmas or holiday season, which is far more strenuous than normal times, and yet this woman gets a pass. Why? Because she's a larger black woman, and she's complaining, and therefore some people are gonna say, working class, oh my god, so sad. Also, the house looks kind of nice from the Nest camera view, therefore we just gotta say, you know what, we're totally on board with this woman because it's so hard being working class. And again, physically demanding jobs are difficult. Nobody's disputing that, and on this channel, oftentimes we highlight the fact that this work is very important, but it's important because these people show strength while they're doing it, because they actually exhibit a little bit of honor in the way that they conduct themselves, and in addition to that, they focus on getting the job done, and they don't get all this recognition from all the superficial things like social media and all of that. Well, guess what? This woman is doing a terrible job, and she's getting some recognition for being bad at it, and I find that to be absurd. It kind of spits in the face of people who actually do this. They work the long hours, they put in the time, effort, and energy, they sacrifice their body in some ways by doing strenuous labor in order to provide for their families, and that's what makes these people respectable in the first place. Now, of course, again, if you have issues with the volume, if you have issues with what this woman is being asked to do, it's not on the customer, it's on the company, it's on her employer, it's on the people who said that, you know what, this slightly over 5 foot large woman who appears to be clearly out of shape, she is perfectly capable of lifting all this stuff each and every day without any issue, when obviously she is not. She should be relieved of her duties, and anybody who thinks that this is about hating the working class because we see her doing a terrible job and we call her out on it is absurd. It's called having expectations for everyone, and what these people who are pandering to this woman are actually doing is showing that they look down on the working class because they don't expect them to do anything properly. Again, it is the soft bigotry of no expectations, and having a standard for working class people that you would never hold anybody who works in a profession to is actually demeaning in and of itself. Again, if a lawyer acted like this equivalent in their particular job, you would not respect that lawyer. If a doctor, God forbid, a surgeon acted in this way, you know, just in the middle of doing your freaking angioplasty or whatever, they were like, you know what, you're a fat, you're just too overweight, I've done this multiple different times from you, I'm done. And then they throw up the scalpel or whatever them doctor tools are, and then they peace out. Nobody would say, wow, that doctor, inspirational, that doctor, really stressful with the job, and that customer right there, just a terrible person. But you say it's okay in this particular instance, even though the stakes are way lower in terms of packages, because you don't have any expectations for this woman, because you don't respect her fundamentally. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I happen to be 100% right about them, but if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. If you like the videos, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about this delivery driver gone rogue. Till next time.